The webinar. We're really excited to be here and unveil the 2024 State of Direct Mail Marketing Report. I'm your host, Stephanie Donaldson, and I'm the Senior Content Marketing Manager here at Lob. I am thrilled to be joined by our guest today. First, we have Megan Hinchy, Manager of Primary Research at Compare Media. Welcome, Megan. It's so nice to have you here again. Megan joined us back in July when we unveiled our Customer Insights report, and she is just a wealth of data and information. Next is Summer Hanlon, our Senior Director of Direct Mail, or our Direct Mail Expert in Residence at Lob. Summer, that is just such a cool title. Can you tell us what, in a nutshell, you do as a Direct Mail Expert in Residence?
It is a cool title. My role at Lob is essentially to provide strategic partnership to our customers. And I often operate as a comms planner or a test and learn developer. And I'm also often helping with creative feedback and targeting recommendations to both customers and our prospects.
Well, you sound like the perfect guest to have on board today. And I know it's not your first time doing this either, as you joined us for the State of Direct Mail back in 2022 as well. All right, in our conversation today, we're going to review the key findings and insights from our State of Direct Mail Marketing Report. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A in the Zoom navigation bar, and at the end of the webinar, we'll answer as many as possible. We'll follow up via email if we don't get to yours, and after the webinar, you'll receive a copy of the 2024 State of Direct Mail Marketing Report, as well as a copy of this recording. Now I'm going to hand it over to Megan to tell us how the 2024 State of Direct Mail Marketing Report was compiled.
For the 2024 State of Direct Mail Marketing Report, we surveyed 250 business professionals who work at companies across the United States with 1,000 or more employees. 75% report their company targets both a B2B and B2C audience, and 68% conduct business online and in physical locations. Most companies responding to our survey stated that their mail volume ranges from 100K to 100 million mail pieces sent per year.
Thank you, Megan. All right, so we ended up taking all of that data and distilled it into the 6 key findings you see represented on this slide. These findings will serve as the topics of our discussion today. So first, we'll look at each finding and then do a deep dive. So let's get started. This is the 3rd year in a row that we've presented the State of Direct Mail Marketing Report, and it's been nothing short of extraordinary watching the overall agreement with direct mail as a channel that delivers ROI increases each year. In 2022, 67% of respondents agreed that direct mail delivered the best ROI of any channel they use. In 2023, we saw that figure grow to 74%, and now here we are in 2024 with a whopping 84% of marketers agreeing that direct mail delivers the best ROI, up 10 percentage points over last year. And if you look at this stat by industry, as you'll see in our bonus content, it goes up even higher in some of them, including insurance, which comes in at 94%. So Summer, I have to ask you, what factors do you think are influencing marketers' agreement that direct mail delivers the best ROI of any channel?
So marketers, and specifically direct marketers, have seen a decline in ROI from their staple digital channels over the years, and they're really looking for new ways to diversify their outreach. Digital exhaustion is actually a real thing, and marketers need to find new ways to diversify their outbound channel marketing and reduce that risk of investing in underperforming channels. And also, attribution techniques are becoming more fine-tuned, and marketers are better able to see the impact that direct mail delivers on a marketer's business and how it also lifts up the response rate of their other channels.
Well, those are excellent insights and actually lead us really nicely into our next key finding. So another huge spike in marketers agreeing that direct mail delivers the best response and conversion rates of any channel. This statistic also increased 10 percentage points to 85% and 84% respectively, from 74% in 2023. Direct mail has really left its mark as far as channel performance goes. So Megan, I'd love to ask you, What factors do you think are influencing direct mail's impact across these key performance indicators?
Great question, Stephanie. The data today suggests improved ROI tracking through the use of automation or software partners is a major factor influencing these major KPIs. Marketers can be more confident in the channels they use, and they're better equipped to execute and then track their campaigns. Anecdotally, I would also say that direct mail breaks through the noise. It's physical. Compared to some of those digital ads you get bombarded with constantly online through streaming services and the like. So as Summer said, sometimes it's just about breaking through the noise and reevaluating what channels you're putting your money to.
Oh, for sure. And Summer, you know my story that's going to be coming up here. A while back, you and I were on a panel discussion, and I talked about a piece of direct mail that had been sitting on my fridge since, I believe, March of 2022 for a backyard repairman. And we finally pulled the trigger at the end of 2023. But had I seen that ad online or on social media, I wouldn't have been able to save it, and we wouldn't have been able to call him. So Summer, I'd love to pose kind of that same question to you. What
Sure.
factors do you think are influencing direct mail's impact across these key performance indicators?
Well, Megan has some great insights, and my thinking is very much along the lines of her answer. But I would also say that direct mail effectively cuts through the noise of our very busy digital first lives by being tangible and relevant. And marketers are getting better at fine tuning their direct mail strategies and leveraging proven elements like personalized imagery, copy, and offers to ensure their outreach is more relevant and actionable than ever before.
Interesting. All right, so given the impact that direct mail is making, I'm curious if marketers' investment into the channel is increasing, decreasing, or staying relatively flat. So let's go ahead and take a look. So I would say that marketers saw what was working and allocated budget to the channels that get results. 82% of respondents are increasing direct mail spending for 2024, a staggering increase from 2023, in which 58% of respondents said they were increasing budgets year over year. And 85% of respondents increased their overall marketing budget. So, Summer, I know you're a Swiftie. So, would you say we are out of the woods regarding the impact of the macroeconomic climate that it had on budgets in the recent past?
Meaning, are we in the clear yet good? So if you're not a Swiftie, I just sounded ridiculous. I think the last year taught a lot of brands that pulling back on effective marketing programs for the sake of reducing short-term out-of-pocket spend um, affected their bottom line and retention rates in a negative way. I'm not a financial analyst, so while I can't say we are, quote, out of the woods, I can say that I anticipate smart brands and their marketing teams to continue leveraging data-driven results to drive their company's business strategy. Budgets are likely to remain strong as long as strategies, implementation, and attribution techniques are equally strong.
That's a great point. All right, you kind of already brought up data, so let's move on and look at key finding 4, which focuses on data, which for a number of years has been a 4-letter word to marketers, and not in a good way. Okay, I honestly didn't know what to expect when we asked this question based on the fact that I always hear and I have seen firsthand the struggles that us marketers have when trying to get access to the right data. I was shocked to see nearly everyone say they have the data they need to execute direct mail campaigns. Summer, why do you think that is based on the data?
This stat really surprises me. My experience in running direct marketing programs and recent conversations with peers and customers continues to reveal there is always room for improvement within data access, usage, targeting, and measurement. Perhaps 97% of responders are happy with the data they have because their campaigns are performing through an effective channel.
Mm.
That being said, there's potentially, I think, still a gap in education around what data is truly available and how many effective ways one can actually segment, target, and learn through data.
That's a fair point. All right, let's go ahead and look at key finding number 5. So some of that satisfaction with having the data they need to execute campaigns effectively may come from how marketers and direct mail practitioners use data in their campaigns. We see from the report that 68% of respondents use data to personalize campaigns, and 64% use data to identify optimization opportunities. So I'm curious, are we taking data far enough, or are we just setting for table stakes? Megan, what do you think?
As a data nerd, my gut instinct is to say that we're just scraping the surface of what could be done with the data we have access to for direct mail campaigns. While we see personalization is popular, that could still simply mean adding the name of the recipient to a piece of direct mail. And there's so many more opportunities to advance that. The better equipped marketers are to ingest and then action upon data, I would expect to see even higher rates of personalization, ROI, conversion retention, and much more.
Definitely. All right, let's take a look at our last key finding and then get into a deeper discussion with our remaining time. So 56% of respondents use a direct mail automation software or technology platform to execute direct mail campaigns. This is an increase from 40% of marketers using a technology platform to execute direct mail campaigns in 2023. So Summer, do you think this increased adoption of direct mail automation technology impacted the other stats that we've seen so far, like the increased ROI, response, and conversion metrics, and even the deeper investment in the channel?
100%. Historically, marketers have relied upon very manual processes to run campaigns and homegrown efforts to measure the value of their program success. Increased adoption of automation software shows more brands are open to investing in technology that supports a marketer's role by driving automation where manual efforts used to exist, and clarity where there used to be only directional feelings about direct mail program results. It's also important to call out that 61% of marketers agree they need automation to support their direct mail campaigns. We all know that 2022 and 2023 budgets tightened dramatically and often reduced the size of marketing teams and even business analytics teams. So there's really only so much an individual can do in one day. And direct mail as a channel is known to be a heavy lift and a very steep learning curve for those who really didn't begin their roles using this channel. So automation really makes the channel more, if I can say, snackable to wrangle, and it allows an individual to focus on strategy and test and learn development versus just manual execution.
Excellent. All right, now that we've examined the 6 key findings, I'd like to talk some more about the success metrics and attribution, given that direct mail has a reputation for being a bit tricky to track. So we talked about the ROI stat. So I was curious if there is any correlation between those who are investing more in direct mail versus those who are keeping their investment flat. And the data seems to show that there is. Megan, can you explain this?
Absolutely. And you know I love looking at a crosstab in the data. And we're really on to something here. A whopping 94% of respondents who are significantly increasing their direct mail budgets agree that direct mail shows the best ROI of all channels their organization uses today. This is just incredible and doubles down on the impact of the channel. And of course, budgets are going to increase where the money and the results are.
That's a fair point, and that's how all marketers should be operating their strategies. But I'm going to borrow your term, and let's double down on this just a bit more. So over a third of respondents can measure ROI, but am I correct in saying that if they use software or automation, that increases? Megan, what do you think?
That's exactly correct. 75% of those who use a software or automation platform say their company is able to determine ROI on its direct mail efforts. Notably, this figure drops down to 62% for those who do not cite using a software partner or any automation provider. Clearly, we can see that having a partner yields better results.
Definitely. All right, as far as tracking and attribution go, let's take a quick look at how we're doing on that front. In 2023, we talked a lot about the resurgence of QR codes and how we saw them everywhere. Similarly to 2023, we saw pearls, customer activity in a given time period, and QR codes as the top tactics for conversion measurement. Summer, the gap between the tactics is closing. What does that indicate to you?
Well, it indicates to me actually that a lot of direct mail pieces right now include more than one call to action. And that's
Mhm.
because brands are thinking about how consumers actually want to interact with the piece and they're giving them choices. And when you think about maybe even looking at age demographics, people who are over 65 may be more likely to type in a personalized URL because they like to go back to their computer and look up a brand and the offer and do the research. And it's just what they're used to doing. Whereas a younger generation is more likely to go through the QR code scan and the buy flow within their own phone. So, as brands continue to leverage more than one call to action and they really harness the power of personalized call to actions, I think we'll continue to see the pearls and unique QR codes at the top of the percentage breakdown.
Yeah, that's a great point. And looking at how we're asking people to take action, I'm dying to know the most popular attribution model that our respondents are using to track these actions. I've been on my fair share of marketing teams and feel like I have used every one of them at some stage or at some company. But let's see what the data reveals. Okay, so seeing multi-touch attribution used by nearly 2/3 of our respondents shows how far we've come as marketers when we struggled with attribution in the past. It speaks to the fact that our attribution models have matured and the way that we're measuring our marketing efforts has evolved to provide us with a clear picture of how all of our marketing activities and channels are working to deliver those results. Anything you'd like to add here, Summer?
I really love this stat. It proves that more marketers realize direct mail can be used as a standalone tactic and also as a tactic that lifts the performance of other channels. I think too often, really large brands silo their teams by channel type, and each team is worried another team might be stealing their attribution. And this can
Mhm.
tend to lead to big shifts in budget and even potential redistribution of teams or layoffs. So, the more that we're seeing that marketers are understanding how customers make a purchase decision based on numerous touch points across many channels, the more likely they are to leverage multi and omni-channel approaches to then exceed their goals.
Definitely. All right, so we just took a look at attribution methods. Now let's take a deeper look at how the data is leveraged in direct mail. So what we see here, the most common data sources that marketers are integrating with their direct mail campaigns are marketing automation platforms like Marketo or HubSpot, customer relationship management systems or CRMs like Salesforce, and customer data platforms or CDPs like Klaviyo. This makes a lot of sense given each of these platforms has a wealth of data that can be used in a direct mail campaign, as well as data that ensures that direct mail is in sync with other marketing channels and tactics like Summer just mentioned. We also see that the overwhelming majority of marketers who responded said that they are satisfied with the data they can access. Summer, does this surprise you in any way after all the years of marketers saying that we're starved for data?
You know, I'm going to say yes. So, what I'm wondering though is actually if data access, like in quotes, is perhaps too broad of a term, as it can mean many different things to a responder based on their role within their company.
Mm,
And like when I think about data access, my brain immediately goes to things like first party data cleanliness, third party data access, and like subsequent segmentation, targeting, and personalization testing. So, with data is really like the heart of a direct mail or really direct marketing program success, and accounts for about 60% of direct mail results. So many people want to believe that it's the creative or the offer that drives all the action, but actually it's who and how you target that matters the most. So I think there's really still room for vast improvement in how brands are leveraging data to personalize their outreach and test and learn and optimize and even track the results.
all right, you're leading me so well into our next talking point as we're going to talk about how people are using this data. And it looks like the top 3 data sources map directly to the top 3 uses for data, right? It's personalizing mail pieces, optimizing campaigns, and trigger sends based on behaviors or actions. Summer, what do you think about that? And did you expect to see anything different?
I didn't necessarily expect to see anything different. I think that beyond leveraging proven data to personalize your mail piece and fine tune your champion programs and trigger, there's still a need to better understand your existing customer base. Many brands have a thought versus fact mentality about who their best customers are and could really benefit from partnering with analytics providers and companies to analyze their customer set and develop higher performing profile and response models to acquire people who look like their best customers. So marketing has come a really long way in the world of modeling and analytics. And I think brands are still very much scratching the surface on what's possible for leveraging data learnings to teach us how to better target and do our outreach.
That's a great point. All right, let's wrap up this data section by talking about the specific data attributes that marketers are using. All right, these data fields also map really nicely given the data sources that are being used. Still, with just around half of marketers using them, it looks like there's a lot more opportunity to keep pushing the envelope when it comes to using data in our campaigns. Megan, can you share some insight into the call out on this slide around respondents that track ROI versus those that don't?
Sure thing, Stephanie. Almost entirely across the board, we see those who track ROI are using these data attributes more than their counterparts who say they're unable to track ROI. Specifically, the data shows us that 57% of responding marketers who can track ROI are using website browsing behavior compared to just 44% of those who are unable to do so. The notable exception to this trend is in address data, where we see just 45% of those who track ROI cite using this data attribute compared to 64% of those who are unable to track ROI.
All right. So if you're in the budget planning process, like lots of us have been in the past few months, you're going to want to lean in for this section as you might be surprised by some of the findings. The average amount of direct mail sent annually has increased year over year. 2023 was a big year for direct mail regarding the amount of direct mail sent. And according to the data, we saw the number of pieces sent increase year over year. Megan, do you have any other insights you'd call out here and maybe explain the industry call out?
That was right where my brain was at, Stephanie. That industry call out is particularly interesting because on average, we see respondents indicating larger amounts of direct mail sent year over year, but financial services, banking, and telecom industries said the most direct mail pieces, with over a third of respondents indicating that their company sends at least 10 million pieces of mail annually. To me, that's mind-blowing and a simple cause and effect. As we see an increase in ROI, conversion, and more, volume surely would increase as well as marketers are fine-tuning their strategies.
Yeah, and as I said, lots of us have been in many budget planning meetings, and the marketers who responded to our survey clearly were too. And from the looks of it, they were fighting for their marketing budgets and succeeded. All right, after a rocky start in 2023, when many marketers were faced with flat budgets or even decreased budgets, things are looking up, and the trend continues when we look at changes in direct mail marketing budgets. 82% of respondents are increasing direct mail spend in 2024, a considerable increase from 58% in 2023. I mean, okay, this stat is amazing. And I'd venture to say that the ROI, conversion, and response rate increases make this possible. Summer, do you agree?
Absolutely. I think the more that people understand the true attribution and the value of direct mail, the more they're willing to put investment into it. We're coming out of a tricky rebuilding year in 2023, where budgets were often cut swiftly and dramatically as a reaction to market discussions and realities. So teams are planning their 2024 budgets. Hopefully, now that we're in 2024, they are secured. And they're analyzing past channel performance, and they're seeing the positive impact that direct mail has on their programs. So many brands are also looking at acquisition as a very large pillar of their 2024 key goals. And direct mail is a proven performance marketing channel in that line of business.
No, I definitely agree with you there. All right, let's quickly take a look at how direct mail spend plays out as a percentage of the overall marketing budget. So on average, respondents spend about a quarter of their marketing budget on direct mail. And 59% of marketers spend up to 25% of their marketing budget on direct mail. Megan, what about the 41% that spend over 25? Please tell us about that group, as I'm pretty sure my sales team is pretty eager to reach out to these people. I mean, I'm kidding, but am I?
You might be onto something there. As we've already discussed, the observed year-over-year increases to marketing and direct mail spend are real. On average, as you said, respondents spend about a quarter of their marketing budget on direct mail. However, here we can observe an average is just an average. We have a small but mighty 7% of respondents spending more than half of their marketing budget on direct mail. That's so encouraging to see.
Yeah, I think my sales team might want to reach out to those people too. All right, let's wrap up this section by looking at how the rest of those marketing dollars are being allocated. So email, text, and other print media are allocated the highest portion of the remaining marketing budget dollars. I recall that last year, 72% of marketers were using email marketing alongside direct mail. So to see that a big chunk of the budget is allocated there doesn't surprise me. Summer, what's your take here? Does anything jump out at you?
It's really not a surprise to see that email and SMS are at the top of this chart because they are direct marketing channels that provide one-to-one targeting opportunities with proven follow-through methodology for reading attributable results. Money is spent where results are easily tracked. Also, email and SMS are proven partner channels for direct mail, and the smartest brands are realizing that they actually lift one another up, and they are not stealing from one another, especially when they're executed in like a strategic comms plan with synchronized messaging and look and feel and offers.
Definitely. I mean, we have to reach out to our target audience in a multiple of ways, but utilizing the same message. All right, let's go ahead and look at our last section of content before we wrap up, which is the channel formats and mail types that marketers are using. And remember, the full report has even more information and data than we have time to cover today. So make sure you download it and share it with your teams. So personalization is rising, with offers, coupons, and text or copy on envelopes seeing the largest increase in customization year over year. With all those data sources, it's nice to see personalization on the rise as well as text and copy. Megan, what do you think about the spike in offers and coupons here? It had the second largest increase.
It did, and my inference here is that marketers are better using their data sources to allow for more of this personalization. A mature segmentation strategy, for example, can allow an organization to fine-tune a specific offer to a specific product category to a niche audience. A simple A/B test can also be used here to provide organizations with the data and insight they need to determine what offers are salient for their audience. Overall, these year-over-year increases are extremely enticing, even simply as a direct mail recipient myself.
Definitely. I mean, we all send it, or at least we send it here, but we also all get it, and we like to make sure that it's personalized to us. So getting those out, let's discuss the formats. So letters and postcards are the most popular direct mail formats sent by respondents, followed closely by brochures, catalogs, self-mailers, and checks. Given that financial services was one of the largest senders of direct mail, letters being the highest format really doesn't surprise me. And postcards are such an accessible and affordable format, as well as being readable. Summer, do you have any insight here from your years of experience?
Well, Stephanie, you're right that there are no surprises really here. I would anticipate before seeing this result that letters and postcards would be in the top three for sure. And a lot of that has to do with, as you said, financial and insurance companies. They over-index in letter usage, and they do send a ton of mail. And B2B spaces also see great success with letters. And then also, your B2C brands, they see success with 6x9 postcards because they stand out in the mailbox. That profile is a little bit higher than a number 9 or number 10. And they allow for a more on-brand visual representation of an offer versus using a copy-heavy approach.
Definitely. And I'll speak for myself. A postcard is the best way to get my attention because I can read it really quickly. I know if I'm interested in reading more. You make me open a letter and I'm not interested, it's going right in the recycling bin. But that is definitely an example of customer acquisition. So let's go ahead and talk about the campaign types. So customer retention and acquisition campaigns account for 50% of campaign sends. Campaign type by volume remained flat compared to last year. So Summer, what do you account for the campaign volume remaining flat year over year?
Well, this result is on par with what I would anticipate to see, considering that 2023 was really a rebuilding year for many brands and a reduced cost year for others. These lines of business are proven spots in the customer lifecycle where direct mail shines. And I'm actually curious to know how or if these numbers change at the end of this year, with the knowledge that a majority of marketers are increasing their direct mail spend, and we're always looking for more ways to diversify our outreach, especially in the world of acquisition.
Definitely. All right. Lastly, we talked about how marketers are integrating different data sources to power their direct mail. It was fitting to have our last slide before we wrap up look at how they're integrating direct mail with other channels. For the third year in a row, the stat about direct mail as a standalone tactic has decreased, proving that marketers understand and are leveraging the channel alongside other digital channels. Megan, do you have anything else to add on this slide?
The future is absolutely phygital, that physical plus digital buzzword that we hear so much these days. Nothing occurs in a vacuum, right? Consumers are exposed to a myriad of messages across platforms, making it critical that all marketing campaigns match the dynamic of what a consumer is facing. To quote the famous Aristotle, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Well, look at you quoting Aristotle to close out our conversation. All right, let's wrap up this conversation with just a few closing thoughts. So we covered a lot today. So to quickly recap, direct mail marketing remains unparalleled in terms of ROI, delivering the highest returns compared to all other marketing channels. The channel also generates superior response and conversion rates, cementing its position as a formidable player in the marketing landscape. A noteworthy trend is the ongoing increase in investment by marketers in direct mail, showcasing their confidence in the channel's potential. Equally promising is the fact that marketers express satisfaction with their data, affirming its effectiveness in executing successful direct mail campaigns. The satisfaction is driven by data's dual role in campaign personalization and optimization, signifying a data-centric approach that is here to stay. Lastly, the growth in adopting direct mail automation platforms demonstrates a commitment to enhancing operational efficiency to make the channel as efficient and profitable as possible. As we navigate the ever-evolving marketing landscape, this report serves as a valuable resource for marketing professionals and leaders, offering actionable insights to harness the full potential of direct mail marketing in 2024 and beyond. The future has never looked brighter for marketers or direct mail. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can tackle some questions from our audience. All right, let me just look here. All right, Summer, I think I have a really great question for you. What factors contribute to direct mail's high ROI compared to other marketing channels?
I think in a nutshell, people respond to direct mail differently than digital channels. Direct mail is it's proven to stand out in the clutter of a busy day full of meetings and hundreds of emails hitting your multiple inboxes. And then at the same time, direct mail actually takes 21% less cognitive effort to process than digital media and also produces 70% higher brand recall, which means your direct mail piece, when relevant, personalized, and targeted to the right person, is going to drive higher engagement and purchase intent than a digital channel.
That's a great answer. Thank you. All right, we got another question here from the audience. Are there specific industries or target demographics that are seeing greater success with direct mail in 2024? Megan, I'm actually going to open that one up to you first.
Well, we do have industry one-pagers in conjunction with the full report, so I highly recommend whoever asked this question to dive into those to learn more. From the data within those one-pagers, though, we observed strengths and weaknesses across the verticals. For example, telecom has some of the highest rates of personalization within their mail pieces, whereas we see insurance with the highest usage of software partners at a whopping 63%. Healthcare marketers have room to grow as it relates to using marketing automation platforms, but the e-commerce respondents agree direct mail delivers the best conversion rate at a notable 87%. There is a lot to uncover in the industry findings, but ultimately it's clear direct mail campaigns can be in fact very impactful no matter the industry of focus.
Definitely. And I mean, we've talked before about being able to use this in both the B2B and B2C spaces. Direct mail makes an impact no matter where you work. So, Summer, I would also like to get your insight on this as well. Do you think there are specific industries or target demographics that are seeing greater success with direct mail in 2024?
I don't have all of the background, obviously, that Megan does with the stats there, but I can tell you from just my experience of working with our customers that I'm not necessarily seeing a certain industry or demographic reporting greater success, but I am seeing more brands focusing on adding direct mail to omnichannel journeys
Hmm.
because their technology investments are providing those actionable and attributable results. We are also seeing greater investment in acquisition after a pullback in 2023. And we're seeing also a lot of new brands trying direct mail for the first time, specifically a lot of D2C brands,
Hmm.
because those relied very heavily on, Facebook, Instagram, other digital channels that are seeing some depreciating results. So I feel like we're going to continue to see that trend continue and continue to see acquisition be a buzz line of business in 2024.
Excellent. All right. I'll answer one more question and then we'll close this out. So we've got one. Where can I or my marketing team find additional resources or training materials to further understand and implement effective direct mail strategies? So I'm going to go ahead and copy Megan and plug the industry one-pagers that will be available on our website. Please also download this copy of the report. Like I said, there's so much more information inside of it. And just be sure to check out Lob Resource Center at lob.com/resource-center. We have tons of great content for you to peruse and listen to and watch to further understand how to implement effective direct mail strategies. All right, I would love to end this with a quick poll. If you would like to learn more about Lob's direct mail automation platform, please let us know via the poll on your screen right now, and we will have someone reach out following the webinar. I'd really like to thank you all for attending and participating, and especially to our speakers for all their incredible insights. Thank you so much, Megan and Summer. Thank you again to everyone for listening. Keep your eyes peeled for your copy of the recording and the 2024 State of Direct Mail report. Until next time, happy mailing!